Is your fear of getting lost while traveling abroad getting in the way of taking that trip? In this video, I'm going to show you some easy ways to eliminate that fear. Hello, everybody. Ooh, really close again. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to not fear getting lost on your travels. Now, one of the one of the most common fears is this. You're in a different place, you don't know how to get around, you don't know where to go, and you end up getting lost. How do you get yourself out of this? Now, most people just kind of spiral and not know what to do. This is before they go on their trip. But once you're on your trip, you tend to figure things out. But I'm going to give you a few tips on what I do to help you out and to figure this out quicker than you may. So, the first thing I want to tell you about is to always carry your accommodations address with you. Now, the reason you want to do this is because if you get lost, you can jump in a taxi and give them the address and they'll be able to take you to your accommodations. You can also order an Uber and use ride sharing and be able to do the same thing. Now, if you're not going back to your accommodations, you can also just do the exact same thing, either order an Uber or call a taxi, flag down a taxi, and tell them where you're going. Most likely, where you're going is a tourist destination, so you're going to be able to just say, take me to the Eiffel Tower, wherever you're going. So be able to just, instead of stressing and spiraling and trying to figure it out and go down a hole of stress, then you just get yourself out of that situation to the place that you're going to and then start new. Now, the second thing you want to do is know how to use Google Maps. Now, Google Maps is pretty much my number one app that I use when I'm traveling. Now, you want to make sure before you leave on your trip that you know how to use this inside and out. Now, it's one thing to kind of like, yeah, I know Google Maps. I've used it for driving. Now, I don't know if you've really gone through and figured out how to use the other functions on it, but really dig deep into it. Figure out they have walking directions, they have public transportation, they have bikes. They also include Ubers, and they have a few other, little things that you can do on there. It is a huge help. Once you know how to use it and how to read it and figure it out, it makes life so much easier because you're able to plug and play basically and use that. Now, you don't necessarily have to have data and internet on your phone to use Google Maps. You're able to plug in the information where you have Wi-Fi and then press go, and then it'll still give you the directions as you're going without the Wi-Fi. Now, there is an option to download maps offline from Google Maps. Not my favorite. I prefer using maps.me for offline maps. But you're able to do so many things with Google Maps, not only being able to find your way out of different situations, but also for trip planning too. So, Google Maps, highly recommend that you really dig into this app and figure out how to use it before you go on your trip. Because when you're on your trip and you're trying to figure it out, you're already in a new destination. There's so many new things that adding one more new thing of technology may not just go over very well and you'll just get more frustrated. So make sure you know how to use this before you go on your trip so that you're able to just look on the navigation system, figure out where you are, plug in where you're needing to go, and then you can just follow along that little dot. So I hope this gives you some ideas on how to get over the fear of getting lost in a new place. So you'll be able to travel a lot more stress-free if you use some of these tips. Well, I'd use both of them personally. Now, if you are unsure of how to use ride sharing or Google Maps and you want more information on that, I do have two programs that I go through in detail, everything you need to know for those two apps while you're traveling. Now, I'm going to put the links down below to those two programs. I am in the process of updating both of those programs. So even if you do get those now, you will get access to the updated versions as soon as that goes live. So I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.